Hello and welcome to this live recording of Triumph 1621, Reconstructing the Sun in Aries by Thomas Middleton. This is mostly an uncut recording of the 12 p.m. show, our first show of the day, from various outdoor recording positions that have been edited together into one track. It was not an ideal day to record on. It had rained for most of the morning. Though this performance was dry, our equipment was still largely covered in plastic. A few sections have been taken from other parts of the day for technical reasons. There will be a spoilers episode of the podcast coming out next year, where we will explicate a bit about what's going on in the original show as the text survives to us, as well as more background about this production itself. You can also go to our website, where there are photos and links to videos about the show, or there will be very shortly. The show begins with the wonderful music of Passamezzo, before our Crier, Aliki Chapple, oyeses the audience into submission, and Alexandra Kataigida, performing the text of Thomas Middleton, explicates the action of the show. We present our live outdoor reconstruction of The Sun in Aries by Thomas Middleton, performed from 12 p.m. on Friday the 29th of October 2021, 400 years after the original performance in 1621.
As I walked through Cheapside, to mine eyes there was presented as great a sight as e'er I saw, which much mine eyes contented. First Lord of Mayor and his steed, with gay trappings, gay indeed. Something there was more than need, more to see I well consented. 'Twas the next day of the silent June, as I did walk about me, many a blazing comet I knew, which made me fortune tell me, fearing some prestigious sight should appear me to upright. And as I guessed, it fell outright, but I hope no man will doubt me. A crew of wild men, wild indeed, who would be so ill-employed there, would put the people in such a fear, that some of them their homes avoid there with such a smell and such a smoke, that I really was like to choke. Many a wildfire cracker broke, but howser was destroyed there. All the company array most trimly were attired, in their accoutrements most gay, but some of them were tired. Whifflers with pink whistling chains, and martial men that took great pains. They swore they'd beat out poor men's brains that were with dirt devoured. Next the sheriff and aldermen gay, upon their slow-paced horses did ride in equipage most gay. For some wished them in their purses, all their chains they had thereon, gold in horse and man adorned, that there was no difference but the horn. They took such equal forces. In sundry places the players' boys unto the Lord Mayor made speeches, but I could hear nothing but a noise. Those damn bells make some screeches, but what that you told me a word, that one of them desired my lord that he at Easter would afford the blue-coat boys perhaps new riches. Girls and boys in anti-shapes sat upon the pageant's gallery. The one represented Jack and Mates, and the other was like a lady. Sure the porters' backs were strong, for they did bear them through the throng, and thus they marched all along, and as gallant as sword and baby. Thus for my delight when I had seen more than my mind can utter, out of the throng I fain would have been, I was so daggled in the gutter. But as I strove, I lost my purse, which caused me to bang and curse. I I did a pot, take ne'er a thought, and I hide thee home to suffer. Joy the gates of London town, peace be in England. Joy the gates of London town, peace be in England. Joy in the gates of London town, peace be in England.
Entitled The Sun in Aries by Thomas Middleton. Produced for the inauguration of the incoming Lord Mayor Edward Barkham. The 1621 Lord Mayor's show was a procession beginning at the Guildhall, travelling down to the river, getting on barges and upriver to Westminster, from there back to St. Paul's, and then along Cheapside, where fabulous pageants were presented all along Cheapside.
That's Cheapside!
Literally there, this road.
Now, we can't process, but we can pretend to. All we need is a crowd of eager Londoners.
Let's be even more eager Londoners!
You need to know two things. One, how to process. It looks like this. And two, I think you might know how to do this already, how to make a loud noise.
It is the morning of the 29th of October, 1621, and a great crowd, that's you, has gathered outside the Guildhall, which is the building behind that one, awaiting the arrival of the incoming Lord Mayor, Edward Barkham. A great procession of gowned members of the great 12 livery companies, musicians, and followers, that's you, make their way down to the riverside.
Let's process!
Eagerly, very nice. Now, by the Thames, there is a spectacular water show. Yes. There are trumpets blaring, and cannons roaring, and the noise is thunderous!
Let's make noise!
So the Lord Mayor and the procession get on barges and are rowed up the Thames to Westminster. Westminster.
Where the Lord Mayor will be sworn in.
In the morning as they go to court, the Thames with wood is covered. Loud music plays, guns give report. The sun with smoke is smothered.
I, Edward Barkham, do swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the most high and mighty Prince James, by the grace of God, King of England, of Scotland, France, and Ireland, the faith's defenders, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Having been sworn in, the Lord Mayor gets back on the barge and is rowed over to St. Paul's.
The old St. Paul's
Cathedral, where he is greeted by the first triumph.
The first triumph! What did it look like?
The first triumph was a chariot, most artfully framed and adorned, bearing the title of the Chariot of Honor, in which chariot many worthies were placed that had got trophies of honor by their labors and deserts. There was Hercules, with his ne plus ultra upon pilasters of silver. There was conquering Alexandra with a golden globe. And there was Caesar with a gilt laurel.
But speaking was Jason! With his illustration of honor, the Golden Fleece, we present the Chariot of Honor and Jason!
Be favourable, fates, and a fair-ish sky. Smile on this expedition. Phoebus, I look cheerfully. The bark's under sail for a year's voyage, and a blessed gale be ever with it. 'Tis for justice bound, a coast that's not by every compass found, and goes for honour, life's most precious trading. May it return with most illustrious lading, a thing both wished and hoped for. I am he, to all adventurous voyages, a free and bountiful well-wisher. By my name hight Jason, vast adventurer, fame, which now rewards my danger, and o'ertops the memory of all peril, or her stops. Assisted by the noble hopes of Greece, 'twas I from Colchis fetched the golden fleece, am one of the first brothers on record of honour got by danger. So, great lords, there is no voyage set forth to renown that does not meet with skies that frown, with gusts of envy, billows of despite, which makes the purchase once achieved more bright. State is a sea. He must be wise indeed, that sounds its depths, or can the quicksands heed. And honour is so nice and rare a prize, 'tis watched by dragons, venomous enemies, but as I, with my assisting Argonauts, did try the utmost of adventure, and with bold and constant courage brought forth the fleece of gold. So, man of merit, never faint or fear. Thou hast the assistance of brave senators here. Thy worthy brethren, some of which have passed all dangerous gulfs, and they can instruct and guide each one that must adventure and are coming on to this great expedition. And they will be cheerful and forward to encourage thee. And blessings fall in a most infinite sum, both on those past thyself and those to come.
Applause for Jason!
And we proceed onward to the standard.
Trust of honor and the noble care, still to discharge that trust did he of instead. You have proceeded carefully, go on, and be to praise from your procession. You have proceeded carefully, go on, and be to praise from your procession.
So we processed down side to the standard.
The new standard!
Newly re-edified, it's being rebuilt. And there we present the second triumph.
The second triumph, the brazen tower, or
possessions are fine gold. Integrity keeps the key. Virtue being, as it were, a brazen wall to a city or commonwealth. And to illustrate the prosperity it brings to a kingdom. Upon the gilded battlements thereof stand 6 knights.
These 6 virtuous knights, you can see all 6 of them, right? These 6 virtuous knights guard the Tower of Virtue, in which stands Fame. Fame, salute the Lord Mayor.
Welcome to Virtue's fortress, strong and clear. Thou art not only safe, but glorious here. It is a tower of brightness, such is truth, whose strength and grace feels a perpetual youth. The walls are brass, and the pyramids fine gold, which shows 'tis safeties and prosperities hold. Clear conscience is lieutenant, providence there, watchfulness, wisdom, constancy, zeal, care are the 6 warders. Keep the watchtower sure that nothing enters but what's just and pure, for which effect both to affright and shame all slothful bloods that blush to look on fame. An ensign of good actions each displays, that worthy works may justly own their praise. And, which is clearest to be understood, thine shines amidst thy glorious brotherhood, circled with arms of honour by those past, as now with love's arms by the present graced. And how thy word does thy true worth display. Fortunae nater, diligentia, fair fortune's mother, all may read and see, is diligence endeavouring industry. See here the glory of illustrious acts, all of thy own fraternity, whose tracts 'tis comely to pursue all thy life's race, taking their virtues as thou holdest their place. Some college founders, temple beautifiers, whose blessed souls sing now in celestial choirs. Erectors some of granaries for the poor, though now converted to some rich men's store. The more the aged misery, some so rare for this famed city's government and care, they kept the seat 4 years with a fair name, some 6, but one, the miracle of fame, which no society or time can match, 24 years complete. He was truth's watch. He went so right and even that the hand of that fair motion bride could ne'er make stand. And as men set their watches by the sun, said justice, but by which that he is done, and keep it even. So, from men to men, no magistrate need stir the works again. It lights into a noble hand today, and has passed many, many more it may.
Hey! What noise is this? Wakes me from ruin's womb. Huh? Bless me. Time. How brave am I become? Fame fixed upon my head. Beneath me, round, the figures of illustrious princes, crowned as well for goodness as for state by birth, which makes them true heirs both to heaven and earth. Just 6 in number, and all blessed names. 2 Henrys, Edward, Mary, Eliza, James, that joy of honest hearts. And there behold, his honored substitute, whom worth makes bold to undergo the weight of this degree. Virtues, fair edifice, raised up, like me. Why, here's the city's goodness in both still. When they restore ruin, 'tis their will to be so noble in their costing care, all blemish is forgot when they repair. For what has been re-edified of late, but lifts its head up in more glorious state. 'Tis grown a principle. Ruins, built again, come bettered both in monuments and men. The instance is apparent. On then, Lord. In at thy entrance, thou's the great man's word, the noblest testimony that ever Lord had when he first stood forth presented by the city. Lose not then a praise so dear, bestowed not on all men. Strive to preserve this famous city's peace, begot by yon first king, which does increase now by the last, from Henry that joined roses to James that unites kingdoms, who encloses all in the arms of love, malice of none. Our hearts find that where neighboring kingdoms groan, which in a magistrate's duty may well move a zealous care, in all thankful love.
Let's hear it for the Tower of Virtue!
Here comes the company, roll them for gentlemen. Here comes the Lord Mayor, your barons, your knights, and also your squires. Give room for gentlemen. Here comes the Lord Mayor.
So the Lord Mayor leaves the new standard and processes along to where Cheapside meets St. Lawrence Lane. Where it used to meet St. Lawrence Lane. There we present the third triumph.
The third triumph!
A mountain, most artfully raised and replenished with fine, woolly creatures.
Fine woolly creatures!
Pageant showed Phoebus Apollo, god of the sun, on the top, shining in a full glory, being circled with the 12 signs of the celestial zodiac. The Aries is placed near the principal rays, the proper sign for illustration. Thus, Aries greets his lordship.
Right thoughts, joy and alacrity of heart. Bless thy great undertaking. 'Tis the part and property of Phoebus with his rays, to cheer and to illumine good men's ways. Eagle-eyed actions that dare behold his sparkling globe depart, tried all like gold. 'Tis bribery and injustice, deeds of night that fly the sunbeam that make good works bright. Thine look upon it and dazzle, as one beam faces another, as we match a gem with her effulgent feather. From thy worth example sparkles, as a star shoots forth. This mount, the type of eminence and place, resembles majesty's seat and grace. The sun, the magistrate himself implies, these woolly creatures. All the part which lies under his charge in office, not in fate, since kings and rulers are in holy writ, with shepherds parallel, nay, from shepherds reared, as people and the flock are oft cohered. Now, as it is the bounty of the sun to spread his splendours and make gladness run over these drooping creatures. Go on, stand up straight. You, stand up straight. It ought so to be his proper virtue, that it is owed to justice his life's flame shot from above, to cheer oppressed right with looks of love, which nothing doubted,
Truth's reward light upon you. The beams of all clear comforts shine upon you.
Let's hear it for Aries!
The procession continues. We are off for a great feast at the Guildhall.
Nom 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 nom.
The honoured mayor of London, a second feast ordains, by which the worthy citizen much commendation gains, for lords and judges of the land and knights of good request, to Guildhall come to countenance Lord Mayor of London's feast.
After the feast, his lordship returns to St. Paul's Cathedral to hear a divine service.
All people that on earth do dwell, sing to the Lord with cheerful voice, himself with fear, his praise forth tell. Come ye before him and rejoice.
After the service, the whole state of the procession, that's still you, escort his lordship homeward, but it's not over yet!
Because at the entrance to his lordship's house, he is greeted by the triumphs, the brazen tower, and the triple-crowned fountain of virtue. This fountain being adorned with the lively figures of all those graces and virtues which belong to the faithful discharging of so high an office. The graces and virtues, each at night bearing a bright burning taper in her hand, to signify as a manifestation of purity. His lordship being inside and drawing near the entrance, Fame speaks.
I cannot better the comparison of thy fair brotherhood's love than to the sun after a great eclipse. For is the sphere of that celestial motion shines more cheer after the interposing part is spent than to the eye before the darkness went over the bright orb. So their love is shown with a content past expectation, a care that has been comely, and a cost that has been decent. Cheerful, which is most fit for the service of so great a state, so famed a city, and a magistrate so worthy of it. All has been bestowed upon thy triumph, which has clearly showed the loves of thy fraternity as great for thy first welcome to thy honoured seat, and happily is cost requited then, when men grace triumphs more than triumphs men. Diamonds will shine though set in lead. True worth stands always in least need of setting forth. What makes less noise than merit, or less show than virtue? To see undeservers owe to all vain glory and to rumour still, building their praises on the vulgar will. All their good is without them, not their own, when wise men to their virtues are best known. Behold yon fountain with a triple crown, and through a cloud a sunbeam pierces down. So is the worthy magistrate made up. The triple crown is charity, faith, and hope. Those three celestial sisters. The cloud too, that's care. And yet you see a beam strikes through. A care discharged with honour it presages, and may it so continue to all ages. It is my brotherhood's arms, how well it fits, both thee and all, for truth's honour sits. The time of rest draws near. Triumph must cease. Joy joy to thy heart. To all, a blessed peace.
Let the mouse out of her hole. Cricket, till the chimney sings. Was the little bell doth ring. It was the sleep who can tell. When the clapper hit the bell. It was the sleep who can tell. When the clapper hit the bell.
And now the Lord Mayor finally gets to go to bed.
In Triumph 1621, a reconstruction of The Sun in Aries by Thomas Middleton, Thomas Middleton was played by Alexandra Kataigida. The Crier was Aliki Chapple. Jason was Charlie Beer. Fame, Holly Bartlett Giles. The Standard, Daniel Yabut. Aries, Quinn Scott. Music by Passamezzo, led by Tamsin Lewis, with Adrian Woodward, Richard de Winter, and Robin Jeffrey. The Lord Mayor Edward Barkham was performed by Gregory Musson. The stage manager was Valentina Vinci, assistant stage manager Liza Graham, the pageant master was Robert Crichton, and city chronologer Tracy Hill. Additional assistance by Kirsten Grunwald Hope and Emma Kennedy. The whifflers for the production, keeping the audience safe and hearty, were Hayden McCabe, Rob Myson, Emma Kemp, Bryony Sparrow, and Polly Hall. Carrying various signs throughout the show, carrying the Guildhall was Helen Good, Westminster was Stephen Longstaffe, St Paul's Elizabeth Amisu, the Standard Angela McShane, and St Lawrence Lane and the personification of 6 complete knights, all in one, was Tom Helsby. Special thanks to Joe Fawcett for additional recording equipment for this show. Triumph 1621 could not have happened without the generous support of the SRS Public Engagement Scheme, Bath Spa University, St Mary Le Bow Church, and Cheapside Business Alliance. I've been your host, Robert Crichton. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.